Hello guys, how's it going today? Today we're going to be covering exactly how to stop procrastinating for your SMMA business, whatever you do. Now, spoilers, there's no such thing as completely stopping procrastination, just because it's very impossible to do that, and I'll explain why on a biological level as well. So, procrastination, everyone does it. I do it, you do it, your mum does it, your dog does it, your cat does it, your pelican does it. Everyone procrastinates, it's inevitable. However, you can do your best to reduce that. So how do you actually reduce procrastination, you might ask? Now, we first need to understand why, as human beings, we procrastinate in the first place, and also exactly what procrastination is. What is procrastination? Procrastination is when, for that split second, you divert your attention onto something else, which tends to be now, your mobile phones. And what tends to happen is you divert your attention away from work onto your phone for 2 seconds, and that ends up, you scrolling through Instagram for 20 minutes, and then it takes you about an additional hour to actually reset your focus and your mind and tailor it towards work again. So that's what procrastination is. Now, why as human beings do we actually even procrastinate? This is because biologically we are hardwired within our brain and our physiology to take the path of least resistance. Now, what that means is we always choose what is easiest to do, simply because think back to, the time of like cavemen, for example. Hunting, running around all day, finding water, building fires, making shelters is extremely energy consuming. So since then, our human physiology has been hardwired to take the path that is easiest for us to conserve energy and also, just be lazy essentially. We as human beings are creatures of laziness. We are hardwired to do that within biology. Now, how do we become less lazy and reduce procrastination? First of all, the biggest thing that you can do is, if you just take away that resistance, you'll procrastinate a lot less naturally. Because right now, what happens is, working for you is the path of most resistance. What I mean by that is, you hate working, you don't want to work. And honestly, that just comes down to, you don't like what you're doing, which is why you find it very, you have a lot of resistance towards it. Real work and success when you're doing something that you truly love should feel almost effortless. And that's a concept that is very, very hard to explain, just because obviously when you work hard, it's going to feel strenuous at the same time as well. However, at the same time, it should feel effortless. It's a concept that's talked about in reality transurfing and psycho-cybernetics. So those two books, highly recommend you read it, but I'm not articulate enough to break it down. I know how it works in my head, but it's very hard to convey verbally. So now you might be wondering, how do you actually take away that resistance when it comes to work? Well, first of all, you should attempt to reduce stress and minimize stress throughout your day. Not just in your work day, but also, in your relationships, family, friendships, whatever. Reduce that stress to as little as possible, simply because, when humans are under stress, we actually don't perform as well. Because, some people think that they do better under pressure. I think that personally, and I know I do better under certain pressures. So maybe time pressure is a good incentive for me to work harder and be more efficient. However, too much pressure can definitely hinder my performance, and I have come to recognize that as well. So to take away resistance in your workday, you simply just have to relieve stress as much as possible. So do little things to reward yourself, go to the gym, go to the sauna, things of that nature. It will significantly reduce your stress, and it will make work feel less resistive, if that makes sense. Oh, which is why you should, build a supportive social circle, which I covered in depth early on in this week's video. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and like this video if you're enjoying the content so far. Leave any questions down below. I respond to every single comment. Now, back to the video. So another thing that you could do to reduce procrastination is literally eliminate as many distractions as possible. Personally, right now, I work from my bedroom, which is actually not ideal because, in your bedroom, you should be doing one thing, and that's literally sleeping. So by mixing the two, like by mixing work and sleep and everything else in between, it makes it kind of hard to distinguish for your body, you know, when you're in a work environment versus a relaxation environment, which is why as soon as I can, I'll probably look into some sort of co-working space or something of that nature. I used to work in Starbucks, but to be honest, I just can't be bothered. And I've optimized myself in such a way where, you know, I do a fair amount of work at home in my bedroom anyways. So yeah, other distractions is put in place certain communication policies. So for example, besides communicating with my parents, I never tend to message anyone or have any social conversations, especially on my phone during the day, during my work hours, just because, you know, I find that to be a huge time sink, and most of the time it's not important stuff that we're talking about anyways. So I do limit my social interaction during my work days as much as possible, simply because if I do start talking to someone, I do get engrossed in the conversation. I tend to start thinking about it throughout my work tasks, and in my work blocks, I get more easily distracted. You know, if I see the notification light on my phone, I'm very much inclined to pick it up and respond to something. The only thing I respond to during the day is literally comments on my YouTube videos and also DMs from subscribers. Another tip is, you know, air a message if you have to. If someone messages you and that's your friend, and you accidentally swipe up and actually accidentally read it, just leave it, respond later on in the evening. This isn't secondary school anymore. If your friend gets butthurt that you aired him for a while, then, you know, probably too immature to be friends with you anyways. So yeah, I air messages all the time personally, just because like sometimes people just hit you up with unimportant things, and it's really not something I'm trying to think about right now. So I leave that to later on in the day when I'm done with work, and that's when I respond to everything. If you're my friend watching this and you see me airing your messages, now you know why. Another thing is stop going on your phone in the mornings. What I do now is I have a light alarm, which is over there. I don't know if you guys can see it. That light alarm wakes me up without sound, so it doesn't disrupt me and wake me up from like a REM sleep cycle or whatever. And also that means I'm able to leave my phone on the desk so that when I wake up, I can go straight to the gym without even having touched my phone. This is very, very good because it really does start your day off on the right foot in terms of reducing mobile usage. So now I believe like before noon every day, I've used my phone for about only 10 minutes, which is why I'm able to keep my screen time on my phone under an hour and a half every single day. So definitely, if you can afford a light alarm, they're only like £23 on Amazon. At least mine one was. Very, very worthwhile investment. Highly recommend it. Simply to get you off your phone as much as possible. Do not scroll through Instagram. In fact, I don't really go on social media that much. If I do view Instagram stories, it's literally like click, 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 bye. That's it. I don't really want to see it. I just want to get rid of, you know, the amount of stories there so that it removes the temptation to look at it throughout the day. Another social media tip that you should do is kill all of your Snapchat streaks. I've mentioned this earlier on in my How to Build a Supportive Social Circle video, simply because, you know, imagine if you keep streaks with, let's say, 5 people. That's 5 unnecessary messages that you get on a daily basis. And, you know, most of the time, if the streak is more than, let's say, 200 days old, you're probably going to be in a very different place in your life than when the streak started. And you might not even be that great of friends with them anymore. So why do you keep that streak going? It's like getting a random message from an acquaintance every single day, and most of the time the messages are, guess what, it's just like, I don't know, a photo of them in bed saying good morning or something like that, where it's almost meaningless. Because, you know, if they're genuinely your close friend, I know I do this with all of my close friends, I give them a call at least on a weekly basis, or, you know, send them a message here and there just to check in. And, you know, Snapchat streaks, in my opinion, totally unnecessary. We're not in secondary school anymore. We're not in high school anymore. We're not in sixth form anymore. Get rid of that shit. Focus on your business. Eliminate distractions from your day. Another huge thing is, in terms of eliminating distractions, delete all of your dating apps. This is never talked about on YouTube, simply because most people don't want to admit that they use dating apps. Now, I deleted all of that kind of stuff time ago, just because I kind of got bored of it, but also because, you know, there's nothing more. Dating apps are almost like the pinnacle of instant gratification. What I mean by that is, you know, you open them up and you get to see loads of hot girls and you get to swipe right, left, right, left, right, left on them. And also your brain does get a massive dopamine hit. Let's say if you match with a very pretty one, then your brain gets a massive dopamine hit and you're literally fucked for the entire workday. I promise you that is actually how it is. So yeah, delete all the dating apps to get rid of the instant gratifications in your life. And yeah, big tip on stopping procrastination: delete all your dating apps. So I've also given tips prior to this video on, you know, how to optimize your lifestyle, and that's going to be my habits and routines video. So I'm not going to go too much in depth on things like fixing your diet, meditation, reading every day to expand your attention span and things of that nature. I cover that in depth on that video. So check that out. I believe that was uploaded 2 or 3 weeks ago. So it's a while ago. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to this channel. I make videos about SMMA, entrepreneurship, and business mindset, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. UK time. And I also go live for those of you that are interested in free coaching from me. I go live on my Instagram right here. Check that out. Monday, 7 p.m. UK time, I go live to talk to you guys, answer any questions face to face, just so that you guys have a solid understanding, are able to get personalized advice from an agency owner like myself, without paying anything. So yeah, check that out. Follow me on Instagram. I also give a ton of free value away on there in terms of showing you more behind the scenes of how I run my agency. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below on what you guys think about my stopping procrastination routines, and like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.